Hiya, I'm Shoshana, Dr. Shoshana Garfield. I've got about 10 minutes left to do videos before I have to go back in for my next client. And my partner said, well, if this were like your last day on earth, what would you want to talk about? And instantly it was talking about relieving the suffering of the illusion of suffering. This is what I think of as my real mission and purpose at this moment. And so that's what I'm going to talk to you about. A lot of people, when they come to me, think they're broken. They really feel broken. And they can point to the evidence in their lives of all these things that aren't working, both inside in how they feel and outside in how that works in their lives. And my attitude when I come to the work is nobody's broken. And I really don't mind how much trauma they can list, or how horrific it genuinely is, how abominable they've been treated, how abominably they've been treated. They are not broken. You are not broken. In fact, you are completely whole. Not even your innocence has been tainted. Not even your innocence. And I want to talk to you about why this is the case. Well, I'm thinking about the Oedip position again and how, do I really know that that's the case? No, I don't. It's a working hypothesis. It's a working hypothesis that has worked. It works over and over and over and over again. I first came across the concept of being unbroken when I realized, after like 20 years of psychotherapy, that the things that were better in my life were just seamlessly better. I didn't have some kind of emotional limp from the things that had already been healed. That when healing happens, it's like just water sealing over. There's no trace whatsoever. And it made me start thinking, got me to thinking, what is going on here? And after years of practice and really doing more of my own healing, I remember sometimes in the jobs that I've had, I'll be walking in the morning really proud that I got to work and thinking, yeah, I may be thinking about all this abuse that happened every day for the rest of my life, and I'm really proud I can function anyway. And I really didn't have much of a conception of what life would be like when I wasn't thinking about it, or at least not thinking about it in those kind of suffering ways, those overwhelming flashbacky kind of ways. That even though I understood what PTSD was, post-traumatic stress disorder, that I didn't really appreciate how it was going on in my own life, even in my own life. And now I can look back years later. The PTSD is gone. The forgiveness is done. I recovered a memory a few weeks ago, another aspect of the torture that I had experienced. And it really threw me. It was some really nasty stuff. And it took me a few hours altogether between myself, my partner, and the practitioner that I was with at the moment that it came up. A few hours altogether to clear it. Just a few hours. And one of the cool things about it, that there genuinely was no anger. That even though it was a new memory, the anger had already been cleared out. There was genuinely nothing there. I wasn't hiding it. I wasn't needing to get to a deeper layer to unveil it. I know I have the strength to face it. It's all right. I would have been able to face it if it were there. It just wasn't there. And that little girl of 4 who experienced it felt genuinely complete, and I knew that was complete, and she knew it was complete. And we had an integration process because that was the choice for us at the time. And it comes to a seamlessness. I was always unbroken. I just had the experience of not being that, the convincing experience, indeed the illusion of not being that. If you have a diamond and you cover it in shit, and you layer it up again, maybe put some papier-mâché on top of it and paint it different colors and put layers on top of that. It gets kind of massive archaeological dig there. It doesn't matter, really, how much false stuff is out there, how many layers. There's a diamond in there, a flawless, perfect diamond. And that flawless, perfect diamond is you. No matter how many layers of pain and anguish and suffering are on top of it, it's still there. If this were my last day on earth, and I really wanted to convey one thing, it would be with all of my heart urging you to know that you are unbroken. As a working hypothesis, what would it be like for you to know that you were unbroken? What would it be like for you to know that your innocence was waiting there for you to rediscover afresh, maybe even for the first time if the abuse started so early? What if, in reaching this diamond self, you could experience a clarity and joy in your everyday that may not even be perceived as possible for you right now? What if you can think about getting to a space where you can really live in that clarity, except when you don't, and then living in that clarity takes you to greater and greater and deeper levels of experience of wholeness? I'm still on my journey. I experience more joy in my everyday now than I ever thought possible. Who knows if I'm blessed with years to come, how deeply, how high, how profoundly I can go into that clarity and joy. But I'm really excited about the journey. And I'm urging you, come join me. It's amazing in here. Bye for now.